Have you ever felt like you've let yourself down so many times that it's hard to trust yourself again? If that hits home, you're not alone. Self-abandonment is something so many of us struggle with, but today let's talk about how to break that cycle. Hi, Fiona here of Philosophies. Today is day 16 of my Snowdrop Visibility Challenge, creating a daily video on YouTube and Substack. I'm amazed to say I've passed the halfway mark. This journey has been about showing up and practicing being seen, even when it's uncomfortable. And today, let's talk about something that holds so many of us back: self-abandonment. I came across a comment on social media a while back that really struck me, and it went like this: I've let myself down so many times that it's hard to trust myself again. When I read that, it hit a nerve. It was as if I myself had written it. I could feel that sense of shame, the emotions of low self-esteem, and lack of self-belief that that statement expressed. And I wondered, what if I could shift that limiting belief? In that moment, I set an intention to really notice when that feeling of self-abandonment creeps in. Instead of that familiar reaction of just giving into it, of collapsing in an emotional heap and letting it take over, what if I could lovingly notice this behavior when it arises and remind myself it's just a belief, a passing emotion, not who I truly am? Rather than immediately berating and beating myself up, I'm now learning to shift my perspective and take small, loving actions that build self-trust over and over again. So, what does self-abandonment look like? To me, it has shown up as saying things like, I can't do this, before even really trying, or giving up at the first hurdle. It looks like negative self-talk and self-doubt, that feeling of overwhelm, being scattered, distracted, collapsing, avoiding what matters, procrastinating, giving up, hiding, or shrinking when opportunities present themselves. Sometimes it looks like putting other people first at the expense of my own needs. Researching this subject further, I've realized it can run even deeper, such as ignoring your intuition and seeking external validation, suppressing emotions instead of processing them, or staying in relationships and situations that drain you. It could also be holding yourself to impossible standards and then feeling like a failure when you don't follow through. It could also be pushing through exhaustion, neglecting rest and nourishment. I know that one very well. But why do we do this? So, one reason is conditioning. Maybe you grew up feeling like your needs weren't important. Perhaps fear of rejection, where we shrink ourselves to be accepted, or low self-worth, doubting whether we deserve rest, success, or love. It may be a fear of failure or success. Staying small can feel safer. So, how do we shift this? It's not about making huge leaps and bounds, but more about making small intentional choices, checking in and taking aligned action from a more centered space, pausing and taking a deep breath when triggering emotions arise. I have found it helpful to imagine it as making friends with a caricature of a grumpy little gremlin, or perhaps a projection of a wounded inner child that needs gentle coaxing and reassurance to bring a smile back to their face. Keep reminding yourself, I can do this. Keep checking in with your body. What do I actually need right now, in this moment? Keep choosing to prioritize rest, nourishing yourself more, moving your body, taking walks, sitting in nature, time near the sea or bodies of water, or grounding yourself near plants and trees. You may wish to give yourself a few minutes or more of meditation or mindful breathing, feeling the fear, but choosing to do the thing anyway. focusing on one small baby step at a time and making time for things that light you up and feed your soul. It's not an overnight task, but a gradual journey of deepening into self-awareness and self-love. Eventually, daring yourself to challenge those limiting beliefs and stepping into a new version of yourself you would never have believed possible before. On this video visibility challenge, I'm showing that former version of myself who didn't believe I had it in me that I can do hard things. I can overcome my fears of being seen and limiting beliefs of being successful. I'm doing it right now. I've been showing up every day, even when it feels uncomfortable. One of the biggest lessons has been learning to keep leaning into the discomfort with inner wisdom and compassion, and recommitting every day not to abandon myself. So now I wonder, have you ever abandoned yourself, your dreams, your potential? What does that look like for you? And what's one small thing you can do today to shift that? Let's continue the conversation in the comments. I'd love to hear your experiences. Have you ever had any breakthroughs in how you have managed to stop abandoning yourself? I'd love to hear. And if this spoke to you, please like, subscribe, share it with someone who might need to hear it today. And I invite you to check out my Dive into the Unknown community. And if you wish to, please do join us. You can share your intentions, be witnessed in taking your baby steps to grow in confidence and courage while being encouraged and celebrated every step of the way. There is power in being seen and held in a safe, supportive space. Meanwhile, thank you for joining me again today, and see you soon in the next video.